Here's what I'm hearing, and it's a situation that has picked up a lot of momentum around the league over the past day or so. Vladimir Tarasenko has finally addressed the growing speculation surrounding his future. And while he didn't come out and say, I'm signing with the Edmonton Oilers, what he did say has only added more fuel to an already fascinating story. League sources continue to indicate that Edmonton has emerged as one of the most logical destinations for the veteran winger. And after speaking with people who follow this market closely, I can tell you there's a growing belief that this isn't just another random offseason rumor. There are real hockey reasons why the Oilers are being linked to Tarasenko, and there are real hockey reasons why Tarasenko could be looking at Edmonton as one of his best opportunities to compete for another Stanley Cup. Nothing is official yet, and that's the first thing that needs to be made clear. There has been no announcement from the Oilers. There has been no contract signed. But here's the latest information I'm hearing. Since Tarasenko changed agents, the conversation around his next destination has changed dramatically. Around the league, changing representation is often viewed as a sign that a player wants a fresh approach to negotiations or believes a different opportunity may be available. It doesn't automatically mean a move is coming, but it almost always gets the attention of general managers and front offices looking to improve their teams. What makes this situation especially interesting is that Edmonton has never really hidden the fact that they're still looking to improve their forward group. Even after making several offseason moves, this organization remains focused on one goal and one goal only: winning the Stanley Cup. After coming so close in recent seasons, there isn't much patience left inside that organization for simply having another good regular season. The expectation is to finish the job, and every roster decision is being viewed through that championship lens. From what I've been told, that's exactly why Tarasenko's name keeps surfacing. He's no longer the young sniper who broke into the league with St. Louis years ago, but he's still a player who knows how to score important goals. He still has a dangerous release. He still has championship experience. Most importantly, he understands what it takes to perform when the pressure reaches its highest level. That's something Edmonton values right now. When you look at this roster, there's obviously no shortage of elite talent at the top. Connor McDavid continues to set the standard for the entire NHL, while Draisaitl remains one of the most complete offensive players in hockey. Zach Hyman has become one of the league's most productive goal scorers alongside McDavid, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins continues to provide versatility throughout the lineup. But if there's one thing people around the league continue to mention, it's that adding another experienced scoring winger could make this team even more dangerous. My take on this is pretty straightforward. The Oilers aren't searching for another superstar. They don't need someone to replace Connor McDavid or Draisaitl. What they're looking for is another proven veteran who can slide into the top six, contribute offensively, and give opposing coaches one more matchup problem to solve. Tarasenko checks many of those boxes if the price is right. Now let's talk about Tarasenko himself, because his recent comments have drawn plenty of attention. Rather than committing to any specific team, he emphasized that his focus remains on finding the right situation to continue competing at a high level. That's not exactly shocking, but it also tells me he's prioritizing opportunity over simply chasing the biggest paycheck available. At this stage of his career, another chance to compete for a championship may carry more weight than squeezing every last dollar out of a contract. People around the league believe Edmonton fits that description almost perfectly. The Oilers have two of the best players in the world. They have an established championship core. They have a coaching staff that knows exactly what kind of hockey it wants to play. And perhaps most importantly, they have a window to win that isn't going to stay open forever. Every season matters. Every roster move matters. Every addition is judged by one simple question: does this increase the team's chances of lifting the Stanley Cup? That's why this rumor has gained so much traction so quickly. Here's another detail that shouldn't be overlooked. Earlier this offseason, Edmonton created additional salary cap flexibility through its roster moves. General manager Stan Bowman has been aggressive in reshaping parts of the roster, and while the team still has financial considerations to manage, there's a belief around the league that the Oilers have positioned themselves to remain active if the right player becomes available. I'm told that's where Tarasenko enters the conversation. His experience makes him attractive. His scoring history makes him attractive. His playoff resume makes him attractive. Even if he's no longer producing at the level he did during his peak years with the Blues, There are plenty of executives who believe he can still be a valuable contributor on a contender. Of course, there are legitimate questions as well. Age is one of them. Tarasenko isn't the explosive skater he once was, and that's simply the reality of where he is in his career. There are also questions about consistency. Can he still produce over a full NHL season? Can he keep pace with Edmonton's fast attacking style? Those are fair concerns, and they're undoubtedly part of the internal conversations taking place inside the Oilers organization. Here's how I read this situation. If Edmonton believes Tarasenko can give them reliable secondary scoring without committing to a long-term financial risk, then this becomes a very sensible move. The Oilers don't necessarily need him to score 40 goals. They need timely offense. They need experience. They need another player capable of making a difference in a playoff series when defenses are entirely focused on McDavid and Draisaitl. There's another factor worth discussing, and it has everything to do with Connor McDavid's championship window. Every offseason, the pressure surrounding Edmonton grows a little stronger because everyone understands what's at stake. McDavid is widely regarded as the best player in the world, yet the ultimate measure for superstars in this league remains Stanley Cup championships. The organization knows that. The fans know that. The players know that. That's why rumors like this receive so much attention. From what I'm hearing, nobody inside Edmonton is panicking. This isn't a desperate move. It's an opportunity they appear to be evaluating carefully. If the numbers work, and if Tarasenko believes Edmonton offers his best chance to compete for another championship, this could become one of the more interesting stories of the NHL offseason. But until something becomes official, it remains exactly that, a developing situation that deserves close attention, because the next few days could tell us a lot about where both Tarasenko and the Oilers are headed. Timing matters in the NHL, especially during free agency. Teams usually have a clear picture of what they want to accomplish before training camp, and players are doing the exact same thing. They're looking at depth charts, cap situations, coaching staffs, and, most importantly, their chances of winning. That's why I don't think the Oilers are being connected to Tarasenko by accident. There are simply too many pieces that make hockey sense. From what I've been told, Edmonton's front office has remained active even after completing several offseason moves. Just because the biggest wave of free agency has passed doesn't mean the work is finished. Championship teams are constantly looking for ways to improve around the edges, and sometimes those smaller moves end up making the biggest difference when the playoffs arrive. Think about what happens every postseason. Opposing teams throw everything they have at Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Every matchup is designed to slow them down. Every defensive pairing is focused on limiting their time and space. When that happens, somebody else has to step up. That's exactly why adding another experienced scoring winger remains such an attractive option. My take on this is that Tarasenko wouldn't be expected to carry the offense. Those days are behind him, and I don't think anyone around the league expects otherwise. Instead, he'd be asked to do something much more specific. Score timely goals. Make smart plays with the puck. Take advantage of the opportunities created by elite teammates. That's a role veteran players often thrive in, especially when they're surrounded by world-class talent. Now imagine for just a moment what that could look like. Again, nothing is official, and these are simply hockey discussions that naturally happen when a player is linked to a contender. But if Tarasenko were skating alongside Connor McDavid, he'd likely see more quality scoring chances than he would on almost any other team in the NHL. McDavid has built a reputation for creating offense out of situations that seem impossible, and plenty of veterans have seen their production increase while playing with him. The same argument can be made if Tarasenko were to spend time on Leon Draisaitl's line. Draisaitl is one of the best playmakers and finishers in hockey, and he has consistently elevated the players around him. That's one reason people around the league continue to view Edmonton as such an attractive destination for experienced forwards chasing one more championship. But there's another side to this story that deserves attention. Every signing comes with opportunity cost. If the Oilers decide to pursue Tarasenko aggressively, they're also deciding not to use that cap space somewhere else. Maybe another winger becomes available later in the offseason. Maybe an unexpected trade opportunity develops. Maybe management decides it's better to save flexibility for the trade deadline instead. Those are all possibilities that front offices have to weigh carefully. League sources indicate that Edmonton's management isn't interested in making moves simply for the sake of making headlines. The objective is finding players who fit both financially and stylistically. That's an important distinction because not every recognizable name automatically makes a roster better. Chemistry matters, speed matters, defensive responsibility matters. In today's NHL, every player has to contribute in multiple areas of the game. That's where opinions start to differ. Some fans believe Tarasenko is exactly the kind of proven veteran this team needs. Others wonder if his best hockey is already behind him and whether Edmonton should target a younger, faster option instead. Honestly, I understand both sides of that debate.